Okay, so today I'm going to do something that's known on the internet as Stan's shifter mod, and it is a little thing to reinforce the shift housing, which on the Lotus typically has a little bit of play. So a lot of people have trouble shifting their Lotus. My car actually has never had much of an issue with the shifter. I've driven a few different Lotus Elises and Exiges, and there is a bit of variability from car to car, whether your car shifts great or if it shifts not so great. But I figured I'd go ahead and reinforce the shifter just to get a little bit more crisp and precise shifts. You can see this kind of actually has some play in it, which is annoying. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that today. And just a heads up, you do not need to remove the seats in order to do this. I just removed them because I have other stuff that I want to do too, coming up in another video. So I went ahead and took them out because they give me a little bit more access, a little bit more room here. All right, so what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be removing the center console here so that we can access all of the shift cables and stuff that are in here. And the way that we do that is there is a screw in here in the bottom of the little rear cubby. Take that out, then the cubby comes off. There's a couple screws on the side of the console. You have to take off the brake handle here, and you have to unclip the boot here underneath. It just has a zip tie that holds it in. So let's get to work. All right, so Stan's mod actually says to use a big stack of washers to try to get the right height to fill in this gap here. I'll show you the gap in a second. But what I did, I actually bought one of these junctions like this and just cut it down with a hacksaw to the right length. And I think that's a little bit nicer than a huge stack of washers because it's just one solid piece. So here you can see where I have the little junction inside there. You can kind of see it down from the top where the hole is. And what you're going to do, there's already a threaded insert in the floor. So you're going to put the right size bolt in that through the junction. And then that's going to be another point of support for the shift mechanism. Now what I had to do, because I was like really filing this thing down and trying to hack it to the right size, I actually had to use this hammer to like just wedge this up a little 1 millimeter to get it to fit in there because it is a very tight fit. Okay, so that's it. We've got the junction in here, and that is held in with this bolt right up on top. I actually had to file out the shift bracket piece here a little bit to get that bolt to line up directly with the hole, but it wasn't too hard. And I just put one washer right underneath that bolt head. I used a small washer. Stan's instructions say to notch a big washer to get it to fit, but I actually just used a smaller washer, which was totally sufficient. And the whole thing is super solid in here now, so feels really good. And that's it. That's all it really takes, and then just need to put all this stuff back. I also drilled a hole and added a self-tapping screw to the unused hole of the shifter bracket. So a couple things here. The first thing that I was just doing was the zip tie that holds this boot up here. So there's like a little, you got to put it in just basically by feel. The easiest way is to push the boot down as low as it'll go so that you can kind of grab it, feed it through the zip tie, and then tighten it and then snip the end off. The other thing though that I forgot to do was plug back in the emergency flashers and the door lock. So now I have to lift that back up, do that again. This one is for the door lock, and it's got a pigtail on it here. So you can just find it, plug it in. And then this other one is for the flashers. And you also have to do that by feel. You want to make sure that these do not fall out. These are what hold the screws on the side. And if you've been digging around in there, chances are they're going to be maybe not in the right place.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring the bell so you can get notified when we post a new video.